From Vanity Fair, Donald Trump called Kamala Harris bitch multiple times from the New York Times. The former president's team denied the remarks, yet this wouldn't be the first time he's used the slur when referring to women. Heavens to Murgatroyd. I have a much stronger word for someone like Kamala Harris, and it is not bitch. It starts with the letter C, and I try to look. I don't know. Bitch seems like it means female dog. It's not really that much of a slur. I don't call people names like that, but I would call Kamala something worse. And the reason is, notoriously, she had inmates and there was evidence that could have exonerated them, and she withheld it. Later denied it, but it was her office. There was an order from the Supreme Court to release certain inmates after a certain amount of time, and they refused. Why? They wanted the slave labor. I'm not exaggerating. They wanted to force people to work putting out wildfires. And imagine you're in prison and they say, you can go outside, fight a wildfire. That's what they do. That's what they do. So I got a much worse word than this. But is this the play they're making right now? Donald Trump, yes. Why? Because the weird campaign where they called J.D. Vance weird and now saying Trump called her a bitch. The whole point is to make women vote Democrat. Suburban women to get offended and say, oh, how. That's why they're doing the Kamala Harris thing where she's like, I'm speaking. It's okay. All right. From Vanity Fair. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump reportedly called his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, a bitch repeatedly, per reporting from the New York Times, based on two people who heard the remark on different occasions. Trump spokesperson Stephen Chung denied the remark, saying that it's not the language Mr. President Trump that President Trump has used to describe Kamala, and it's not how the campaign would characterize her. Oh, I'd stress this again. My friends, I'd like to stress I am not a politician, nor do I ever want to be. And so I have no problem saying, like, I think Social Security is bad and should be dissolved and just eradicated, and it should have never been implemented in the first place. Vote for me. Yeah, I would never win an election because I don't care. It's an insolvent program that incentivizes the destruction of the family. And I think it's you take care of your kids, you get old, your kids take care of you. That's the way this thing works. Instead, they're like, the state will do it. But the state relies on young people who aren't related to you. Nah, it's bad. And also, I'd characterize Kamala substantially worse. Why? Because I ain't running and I don't need your votes. I would appreciate your support, but you don't got to vote for me. Trump has used the gendered slur, oh, shut up, to talk about women or benefited from its use throughout his career. And he didn't shy away from the language in 2016 when running against Hillary Clinton, lest we all remember the Trump that bitch t-shirts that filled his rallies. Did Trump make those? The phrase also graced bumper stickers, yard size, and bottles of hot sauce. That hot sauce sounds pretty good, actually. At a New Hampshire rally during the campaign, someone in the crowd held up a Trump that bitch bumper sticker, and the then candidate appeared to spot it, stopping Trump in the middle of his speech. This could only happen at a Trump rally, he said, after pointing, smiling, and laughing at the attendee. Then, after mentioning the pushback he received after not correcting a town hall attendee who insisted that Barack Obama is a Muslim, Trump points again to the man in the crowd. Sir, you're reprimanded, okay? He said before throwing his arm in the air and brushing off an emotion. But we're not throwing him out, right, folks? I love this. I love how Trump does this. He did that speech where he was like, yeah, I was at a dinner and someone said, Chris Christie is a fat pig. And I said, sir, you cannot say that. Chris Christie is not a fat pig. You don't say that. Trump is so good at this. It's funny. While there is no conclusive history of Trump's usage of the misogynistic insult, he's been reportedly employing it for a while now. Here we go. Now they're bringing up the Access Hollywood. You know why they're doing this? It's because Kamala Harris doesn't have any campaign positions. I don't know. Maybe they finally put it up. Can we see if, what's it? KamalaHarris.com. All right. Maybe, just maybe, she's put up her campaign. Look at this guy. Oh, big old smiling Waltz here. Ooh, 47. Look at that's highlighted. You should give $47. Maybe they finally put up campaign positions. Nope, they have none. They have none. This is the campaign they're running. J.D. Vance and Trump are weird, which is a woman insult. And what I mean by that is calling a guy weird, he's going to go, okay. Like, what does that mean? Does not strike at the ego, does not strike at his capabilities. It just means you don't run in the normative circles, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people are weird. However, women are more susceptible to social pressures, according to scientific research. And I think this is reflected very well in Instagram and social media, where women are more likely to follow these trends and also face depression based on their likes and things like this. And I do think it makes a lot of sense. Men tend to be more independent and less agreeable, so weird doesn't really matter. The goal is to get as many women as possible, suburban women, mainly suburban white women, in these areas of, around cities, to vote Democrat. So J.D. Vance is weird. Why would you vote for him? You don't want to be weird, do you? And Trump calls women a bitch. Ooh, wow, he hates women. That's what they're rehashing. Because they don't have any campaign policies. Now, we do have this. We do have one. Harris says she supports eliminating taxes on tips, mirroring Trump. For this, Donald Trump has called her copycat Kamala. Copycat Kamala, they say. That's what they call her, because she's copying Trump. Vice President Harris at a Las Vegas rally Saturday night suggested she would support ending taxes on tipping, a policy initiative that has become popular with former President Trump on the campaign trail. The idea exempting tip income from federal income and payroll taxes has become a common policy line item for Trump as a way of courting working class voters. It is logical and correct. But what's really funny is the libertarians were like, thank you for adopting our policy position. It wasn't Trump. It wasn't Kamala who stole for Trump. It was Trump who stole from us. And I'm like, no libertarians. Yours is Trump says no taxes on tips. Libertarians say no taxes. So you can't say ban all taxes and then claim this specific policy is Trump taking it from you. And that being said, I love it. You know what really pisses me off about taxing tips? Tips are not consideration. And consideration is a legal term meaning something exchanged for something. The quid pro quo, as it were. I go to dinner. I order a fine meal from my server. I then decide if my server deserves money. That is not consideration. Because if it were, you'd give them the tip first. You'd say, I'd like to order the cheeseburger, the smash burger with extra barbecue sauce and onion rings slopped all over it. And then here's a tip. Basically saying to ensure promptness. That's what people think tip means. But no, that would imply you give them the money first. If the service afterwards is good and I decide to give them a gift, the exchange is complete. I could get up and leave and give you nothing. Now, why is it that if I decide to give you a gift, it gets taxed? I reject that. Taxes on tips should be ended. The thing is, hey, it's great. I guess no matter who wins, you're going to get it. Nah, sorry. Kamala Harris is lying to you. Not that I think Donald Trump is guaranteed to get the no tax on tips thing done. Kamala Harris is just saying this. She's the vice president right now. She could easily say, okay, Congress, I want this policy right now. Joe Biden will sign it. We're going to give that to the American people today. Republicans pass the bill. The clever move for Kamala Harris right now is to call on Republican as vice president, say, today, I call on the Republican Congress to pass a bill ending taxation on tipped income. And I guarantee I will ensure Joe Biden signs it. And then the Republicans in Congress have to make a choice. Are they going to stand by this or not? Instead, it's garbled nonsense because Kamala Harris is like, the prices for food is too high. On day one, I will get those prices down. And it's just like, what about day now, Vice President? You're sitting there with Joe Biden. What do you mean? Yeah, it's all nonsense, gobbledygook. But my friends, this is the battlefield we're currently in. Now, what really matters, and I want to give you the white pill before the black pill, is the Real Clear Politics average for battleground states. In Arizona, Trump is up by 1.5. In Nevada, Trump is up 3.7. In Wisconsin and Michigan, Trump is down. Michigan's going Harris 2.4. Wisconsin's going 0.8. But in Pennsylvania, Trump's up 0.8. North Carolina's 3.2 and Georgia's 0.6, giving Trump the total battleground edge of 0.9. That's the winning election right there. So we're going to pull up our good friend 270 to win. Arizona, Trump. So that's red. We got Nevada, Trump. We got Wisconsin and Michigan, Kamala Harris. We'll make those blue. Make them blue. They're going to go blue. Pennsylvania is Trump. Georgia is Trump. Hey, look at that. 287 electoral college votes. Now, Pennsylvania is what really matters. Pennsylvania is the big deal, and Trump's up 0.8. Let me tell you, the polls tend to favor Democrats. So with Trump up 0.8 in Pennsylvania, he's probably up 0.2 or something. I'm sorry, he's probably up 2.8 or something. 2 points, I mean to say. Maybe 3. The way the map is currently looking doesn't really represent the betting markets very well. Now look at this. The election forecast at Polymarket has Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia as toss-ups, but Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin going to Kamala Harris. Let's play this game. Let's go to 270 to win. Let's say the only thing that changes here is Kamala wins Pennsylvania. That's it. That's 270. Kamala Harris wins. If Kamala wins Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, Trump can take everything else. It won't matter. What would be really interesting is, and New Hampshire is going blue right now as well. You would have to flip 2 electoral votes, which I believe can only be done with Rhode Island? No, Rhode Island's gonna have 3, right? Rhode Island has 4. Delaware has 3 because they're gonna have 2 senators and a representative. So it would have to be the 2 single districts in Maine, or in the one in Maine and one in Nebraska, and then. No, I'm sorry. Duh. If Nebraska somehow goes red, which I really doubt, here's a fun scenario. Tie 269 to 269. Uh-oh. Oh boy, won't that be fun. So right now, Trump is favored in PA, and PA is the state to lose. So my question is, what are the Trump administration, the Trump campaign people doing to win Pennsylvania? Ask yourself, whenever they take an action, will it earn votes? Because that's what really matters. In the general election lineup right now, CNBC and Rasmussen just published the latest, and I think this is the Trump v. Harris 5-way. Trump is up 2, according to CNBC. That's big because CNBC is not right-leaning. Rasmussen has Trump up 5. We got a wave of polls that some say are the honeymoon phase, showing Kamala Harris leading nationally. The estimates by most people is that she's going to win the popular vote. Well, I'll tell you what it comes down to. Who are we as people, my friends? Who are we as people? I got this from Nate Silver. It's an interesting breakdown, and I'll read a little bit from it for you from yesterday, breaking down the presidential election forecast. But I want to say this. We are a nation that right now, you've got emotional. Well, it's emotion versus logic. It's men versus women. That's what the election has become. Democrats are voting based on how weird J.D. Vance is, or based on Donald Trump calling people mean words. That's why the Krasensteins are like, yay, Kamala, with no policies. Me, I'm going, Agenda 47 sounds pretty good. We're going to bolster the American economy through energy investment and deregulating various areas of the energy sector. Secure our border. We're going to help the working class by dealing with illegal immigrants. J.D. Vance came out and explained how we do it much better than Trump did. J.D. Vance was an excellent choice, by the way, though Nate Silver does mention that J.D. Vance is very unpopular. J.D. Vance says we start with what's possible. The first thing we do is we secure the border and stop the influx of illegal immigrants. The next thing we do is we go after violent criminals. These things are easily possible with deportation. You may get rid of 1 million out of the 20 million illegal immigrants that are here. And he was asked, I can't remember who was interviewing him on ABC, are you going to go door to door? And he's like, no, we're going to go after criminals. And if they're an illegal immigrant and they're a criminal, they're committed a crime, we're going to deport them. And we can deal with what's possible first. After that, we can figure out what's possible next. Going door to door. And I said this too, Trump's presidency is going to be marginal. It's going to be marginal. I love this. Let me see if I can pull up this tweet from the Krasensteins. We'll go over to Timcast, see if I can find this one. There's a great exchange between me and the Krasensteins, and me talking about why they have no policy positions. So, they're asking me about whether or not I'm going to criticize Donald Trump. I'm surprised. And what did I say? Trump has no advisors or bad advisors was the tweet. Let me see if I can find this. I've tweeted quite a bit, so I've got to scroll down quite a bit. Here we go. We got it right here for yous. Right here for yous. Let me pull this up and tell you what I think. Tell you exactly what I think. Ian Miles Chong tweets, Kamala's credit at the airport was in fact real. You can claim they're paid actors or that they were just there for a concert, but they are definitely not AI. So let me add more context. I wasn't planning on pulling these things up, but I think this context really matters when we're talking about what this election is going to be. And Donald Trump has this post on Truth. Let me scroll back and find it. I love scrolling through Trump's Truth Social, where he says it's AI. AI. There's Kamala flip-flopping. Maybe I should just pull up the whole thing. Let's just pull it up and scroll through it until we find it. As president-elect, swing state. Maybe I should just make this a little smaller. Easier to see. All right, let's see. I'm doing really well in the race, he says. And maybe it's easier if I just... Here we go. He says, look, we caught her with a fake crowd. There was nobody there. Everything about Kamala is fake. Breaking report, Harris campaign busted using fake crowd photo at campaign rally stop. Now, there are interesting things in this photo that I'll definitely talk about. In this picture, you can see the reflection from the plane shows no crowd. That's actually really weird. It's really weird. He says, has anyone noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There was nobody at the plane, and she AI'd it and showed a massive crowd of so-called followers, but they didn't exist. She was turned in by a maintenance worker at the airport when he noticed the fake crowd picture, but there was nobody there. Later confirmed by the reflection of the mirror, like finish on the vice presidential plane, she's a cheater, said had nobody waiting, blah, blah, blah. Here's an interesting photo of the zoomed in reflection on the plane. It looks like there is nobody there. For real. I don't see anybody in the reflection. There's one guy. Interesting. In this photo, there's a bunch of people holding up signs. What have people said? The tail number is missing. Seems odd. Oh, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. This photo may be AI. Someone, we posted this a while ago. Someone posted a AI detection of it, and it said it was AI. Maybe it's good AI. Trump then says, we caught her with a fake crowd. Okay. Well, here's a video Ian Miles Chong posted. It's a Kamala rally. These people are here. There's people there. And look at this. The reflection in the video also makes it look like there's very few people, but it's probably just reflecting off an angle or something. There are a ton of people here. The camera actually scrolls out. You can see them all waving signs. Maybe it's I don't think it's an AI video. I think this is real. But you know what I got to tell you, my friends? It doesn't matter if it is or it isn't. Literally does not. The issue at hand is I don't care about the size of Kamala's rallies. I don't care if people think she's popular or not. I care about what you are doing to earn votes. This is a question of, does Trump's post on this gain him any votes? I believe the answer is no. So I tweeted, Trump has awful advisors or no advisors. Brian Krasenstein responded, it's not his freaking advisors, it's Trump. Stop shifting blame. This is what cultists do. You see, Brian's in a cult, so he can't tell what I said because his brain doesn't work when you're in a cult. I responded with, what do you think no advisors means? Literally, my point is, Trump is sitting there, he sees a post, and he goes, and he posts about it. And there should have been someone there to be like, Mr. President, not this one. Ask yourself, does it earn you votes? Yes, I'm literally saying either he's got people next to him saying, yeah, do this, or it's just him doing it. That's the point. He's not doing well with these posts. Krasenstein said, so you think he makes horrible decisions when not being advised to do otherwise? Is that the man you want as your president? That's weird. Oh, yeah? I said, I do think he makes horrible decisions, and we criticize him routinely. He hired crackpot Bolton for one. However, a marginally net positive presidency is preferable to cultists supporting Kamala, who was installed and has no campaign policies. When we talk about Joe Biden, you really put me between a rock and a hard place every step of the way, Democrats. Let's talk about 2016. I didn't vote for Trump. You want me to vote for Hillary Clinton? You make me laugh. Hillary, they called her. And I'm not saying that because of the conspiracies about the people around the Clintons. I'm talking about Libya. We came, we saw, he died. I'm talking about a lady who during a debate said she wanted a no-fly zone over Syria, which would basically be a declaration of war with Russia because Russia's got a military base in Tartus. Psychotic woman. And then I saw Donald Trump. Populist policies, but a big goofy on stage saying only Rosie O'Donnell. And I'm like, he's a funny guy, but he is not a president. Trump wins, and I laugh about it because the Democrat, the evil, nasty establishment lost that one. And it made me feel good inside. And then I saw something. For all of Trump's faults and problems and things I'd criticize him on hiring Bolton, I didn't support Trump for a while. His second term agenda was put up against Joe Biden. And Donald Trump's agenda was great. And I saw a man who started no new wars, who fired Bolton, said, I'm done with this. He said, I'm going to get our troops out of the Middle East. And I said, wow. He said, I'm going to secure our borders. And I said, makes sense. He said, I'm going to get rid of the weird woke intersectionality stuff in federal government, which is illegal anyway. I said, I do like that. And I said, what can I argue with? I can criticize Trump for all the bad things he's done and does and likely will do, and that's fair. And I welcome it. But here's a guy who actually, no new wars, the first president in my lifetime. For that, he is the greatest president of my lifetime. No question. And I will vote for that man. Now, I tell you this. I got a bunch of people saying, like, do you have a chance to have Ron DeSantis, Tim? No. Charisma matters. And Ron is not a president. I'm sorry. Good policy, largely from the state legislature, but I can respect a lot of the things Ron DeSantis did, and I'm a fan. But his campaign was apocalyptically bad. For the same reason I wouldn't vote for RFK Jr. What's that? The media thinks I did? This is what cultists don't understand, like Krasenstein. You think Trump makes bad decisions when not being advised and you'd still support him? Bro, are you in a cult? Have you stopped to look in a mirror? Have you seen what you're supporting? This lady's got no policies. I don't even know what she's going to do. She's vice president right now. We can certainly look at the current administration to make inferences. War? Here you are going, I'm going to vote for this lady and I don't even know what she wants. And I'm going, wow, Trump's got a lot of bad things about him. There are probably other people who would have been better, but he's the best we got. And I do think he'll be a marginally good president. These people are in a cult. You know what cults do, Brian? Cults scream and cheer in massive crowds for a woman to be president with no policies. I know I've heard you say it. She's stated some policies at campaigns. Yes, I understand that. I'm talking about she's not laid out a campaign plan for 4 years. I'm fine with her at rallies saying we want reproductive care. I get that. But Democrats being for abortion access doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of what is the plan to get the prices down? What is the plan to secure the border? You're there now. Why don't you secure the border? No taxes on tips? Okay, you're there now. Propose it to the Republicans. When you blindly march behind a political party who installed someone without a vote, you're a cult. When the Republicans have a brutal primary process where DeSantis people are screaming at Trump people are calling out Trump for bad things and bad campaigning, that's not a cult. See, cults don't question the person that they voted for. Cults just say, Supreme Leader, you're the best no matter what. We have no idea what you're doing, but we support you anyway. That's you. Me, I say, wow, Trump sure screwed that up, screwed that up, screwed that up. He hired this bad person. He took bad advice from this person. But the economy in 2019 pre-COVID was really good. And no new wars and crossing the DMZ. Those are good things. For the first time in my life, I can say I had a marginally net positive presidency. I'll vote for that. And then I will absolutely criticize Donald Trump for saying for mocking the body slamming of a reporter that we saw that with Gianforte or whatever his name was. The reporter came in, the guy threw him to the ground. Trump laughed and mimicked body slamming. Not good. Not a fan of that. Never have been. Donald Trump has done things that deserve criticism. Increasing drone strikes while decreasing transparency. I understand why he did it. He wanted to maintain security in the Middle East as he was withdrawing troops. But I can certainly recognize why people are upset about that because you could at least maintain transparency. Firing 59 Tomahawk missiles into Syria was a huge blunder. A lot of blunders. Stance on COVID with Fauci, all those blunders. Criticize him, call him out. Then you tell me, for those reasons, I should be voting for Kamala Harris? Get your cult out of here. Well, I was going to go through the Nate Silver bulletin, but got carried away there. Check out this clip as we wind down this segment. I hope you enjoy it.
Danielle, I got less than a minute, but I did have to ask. We've seen people like Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Nick Fuentes openly say that they are not going to be supporting Donald Trump. They've backpedaled, right? And, they've tried to, make excuses for taking those positions. But we've also seen publicly attacks on Truth Social against the campaign leaders for Trump. Is this a sign in any way that you think that there is now an actual kind of break in the armor of the Trump campaign?
Oh, Katie Fang. Is it Katie Fang? I don't know. Look, I know you don't actually do any Google searching or research yourself. But the funny thing I love about this is that when I have 7 tweets and it's like, stop attacking your fans. We want Trump to win. And the next tweet is, don't insult me. I was a Bernie supporter and then I voted for Trump. And the next one is, Trump must win. You can't do this. Okay, fine. I'm voting for RFK Jr. now. The idea that any sane, rational person is going to believe that that was a full, wholehearted endorsement, and with all due respect to RFK Jr., who did? You see, these people don't understand context. They don't understand why the tweet said, okay, I'm voting for RFK Jr. now. If I tweeted something like, after reviewing the issues and seeing the moves made by Donald Trump, I believe that RFK Jr., blah, blah, blah. If that's what I tweeted, I can understand why but it was, okay, I'm voting for RFK Jr. now. It was literally in a series of tweets. I didn't think it would go so far and why, but thanks for keeping my name in mind when you mentioned me. I immediately said afterwards, yeah, dude, I'm trolling the haters. Duh, I'm voting for Trump. I've laid out all of these strategies and like ideas. Spare me. With that, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I give you this tweet to round out this segment, which is on X. I've had enough. I'm voting for Kamala Harris now. Crime is a real issue in this country, and we need someone with a proven track record in dealing with criminals. She's the only candidate who has proven her commitment by keeping people in prison despite evidence proving innocence and kept others in prison to use as slave labor to fight wildfires. Her strength in not publishing any campaign positions shows her brilliance in campaigning by making it impossible for Trump to target. Her genius is exactly what this country needs, and anyone who believes endorsement is real and that I'd support such an effing evil witch is, let's just say, cognitively impaired. It's got, let me refresh it. It's got a million views. Oh, please, MSNBC, run the Tim Pool endorses Kamala Harris line. I don't care. Look, a lot of people are like, Tim, don't say these things because people are going to believe it. Look, man, I don't live in the Trump campaign world. I'm friends with people in the Trump campaign. They're many of our guests, and we have a formal alliance. But I am not. I'll explain it to you this way. The three great nations, actually, I think there's the four great nations of the 2024 election. There's Leftonia, default liberalism land. You've got moderate, or you've got independent, the independent nation of moderates, and then you've got MAGA country. The independent nation and MAGA country are aligned. The default liberal land, a lot of ignorant people, and Leftonia, they're willing to support certain elements of the liberals if it's damaging to the right. I am not in MAGA country, okay? We are guests. There's a formal alliance. That's how it works. What this means is I'm not a Republican. I don't like the Republican Party, and I won't march in lockstep with Republicans. I won't post tweets being like, never question Donald Trump. I won't be like these Trump MAGA diehards who are like, how dare you, Joe Rogan? Because I don't live in that country. So if the people of MAGA country, begin attacks on those who are in the independent country, we're going to take issue with it. There are a lot of Trump supporters who get really angry and start crapping all over people like Kyle Rittenhouse, Joe Rogan, and me. Me mostly because I was defending Rogan and Rittenhouse, because that's a different political faction, not me. So the first thing I'd say is don't insult my friends, because that's the fastest way to ensure I will call you out. But I would also call on the Trump administration, and I'm sure they did this. Give your surrogates a phone call and tell them to please stop attacking moderates, because we're here only because you are correct this time. Be correct. Maintain that position, and you've got our votes. Decide to go to war with moderates, be wrong and put up fake quotes and lie, and you're not going to have them, because we're not diehards. We're just here because Trump is correct. And if at any point Trump is making mistakes and we criticize it, and the Trump people don't accept it and they keep running on the wrong track, well, then we out. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at, this is the 1 p.m. segment. So the next segment will be 4 p.m. Don't miss it. I think I'm talking about, what are we even talking about now? Skateboarding? Oh, geez. Culture war. I kind of don't want to talk about it, but I kind of think I should, I guess. It's fun. It's fun and it's funny. And it is what it is. All right, everybody, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. Next segment will be at 4 p.m. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you all then.